Greetings, spooky friends. What is it? We're back with another exciting episode of the Sir Henry's Haunted Podcast. I am not your host, Calvin, and with me is the host, Zach.
Evening. Great to be back. We're just trying to keep you guys on your toes. We don't want to get into a predictable pattern.
After however many episodes, now is the time to mix it up.
Breaking the studio and kill us. We gotta keep us on our toes. Thanks for tuning back in. We are here today. We've set aside our time for you so that we can talk to you about Trail 1 and 2. Last podcast episode, we dove into
Legends of Halloween,
Haunted Hayride,
and Agua de Muerte.
Agua de Muerte. Sounds like some Gustavo Fring stuff.
Dude, shout out Gustavo Fring.
So today we're going to be talking about Trail 1 and 2. These trails have already been announced. Let us start with Trail 2, and that is called
Pyrum's Wrath.
Pyrum's Wrath.
Couldn't remember what we decided on.
Now, the interesting part about Pyrum's Wrath.
Interestingly enough.
Is that the little kid?
No, that's you. That was an impression of you trying not to say fun fact.
What's that one little mean kid or whatever?
Apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
I've never been on live television before.
Apparently, the interesting thing about Pyrum's Wrath, there's a couple things. First and foremost, would be that this is more of a reprisal character story. And the first time we've ever done a reprisal story character theme at Sir Henry's Haunted Trail.
Like a reboot.
Like the Captain's Fury. Well, some of you may say, well, Captain's Fury and Rapture of the Deep.
That was a sequel.
That was a sequel, kind of like the Candy Tree and the
Bone Marrow?
No. Candy Tree and the Love Tree.
Oh, for Valentine's.
What was it, guys?
The Kissing Tree.
The Kissing Tree. That's it. Thank you, guys. Those are all.
You're gonna have
like
to call
sequels.
our historian, Mike.
We haven't brought something back so Pyrum's Wrath is the first time we are bringing Pyrum back exclusively for his own trail. Sure, there's been escape rooms, what have you, but this is the first time since 2018 where you'll have seen Pyrum featured on a trail in this capacity.
And then the second big note is that you had two notes and you're ending on one, so I'll pick up. I know which one you're going for. Is the first time we did Pyrum, it was in the woods and it was on Trail 1 and everything like that. So this is a completely different setting because this is in Trail 2, which is our.
Where is that? Trail
that
2.
is the mansion trail.
So we're a haunted mansion, which is typically creepy, ghost, whatever, dark.
We are filling it with pumpkins and creatures and stuff, and it's really cool. It's a completely different setting. When we started doing it, I was excited for it, obviously, but I didn't really know kind of how it would feel. And then after, we're at this point where it's pretty much done. It's incredible. It looks really cool.
We have done a lot of the scenic stuff. We have added the pumpkins, added the vines. We built a big a new scene in here. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I think...
I was like, what? I don't remember.
I think this is the best this trail, our mansion trail, has looked in quite some time.
I agree.
Considering, and I would say of our 4 attractions, this got the least amount of new attention. So
Previously.
No, this year.
Oh, yeah.
Of all 4 attractions, Trail 2, the Haunted Mansion, got the least amount of new building stuff. But that aside, I think it looks totally different.
Yeah.
Than it has the past several years, and looks the best it's looking. We still have a significant amount of work to do on it. Especially in the finale.
Yeah. Well, and then a
couple rooms.
It's a completely different vibe for one. Yes. And then a lot of the rooms, similar to what we were saying on the hayride, have been reworked. They're still the same. Most are still the same to the core, but there's actually just a couple new scenes. including one big one. So,
which is
a green. I almost said a graveyard. A greenhouse, which is something I've wanted to do for a long time.
why have you wanted to do it?
I don't know.
Did this meet your satisfaction?
Yeah, of course. I just like the vibe of like the glass windows with the rain and the lightning and plants and stuff. So I was like, I
Stop
thought,
lighting that stuff.
huh?
Lightning,
I know, yeah.
rain, glass windows.
Yeah. It's overselling here. But I just like the vibe, and I fought for it, and it was always like at the bottom of the build list of like greenhouse, I guess. And then after we tore down Trail 3 and we realized how much like usable material we had from that, it was kind of a no-brainer to do it, and we knocked it out in like a day. The rough build of it.
Yes, 2 hours.
Not even a day. Yeah, it was so easy. Would have been done if we didn't need more stuff, but I'm excited for it. It's a cool scene. Should I say where it's at?
Yeah.
What was there before? Yeah. So
Yes.
nothing. Yeah.
Yes.
So after the kitchen, going into what was.
There was like a little outdoor transition area, and then you went back into the house.
Yeah, where it was the attic. It's in that spot. It's a much bigger space than what was there before.
The space is probably 3 times the length of what it was before. So we've extended the length of the mansion.
Yeah.
Now.
So
and not just with that, but a couple of the odds and ends we've done with the routes and stuff.
Yeah. So it's not gonna feel like so short.
Yeah, no.
But dude, it's cool.
The
scares we're doing in there, the effects that are in there.
We got a couple scares in there that's gonna drop you to your knees.
But
we just set it up. Most of it, like with the vines and all that, we still got a little tweaking to do. But there's one really cool scare we're gonna do. There's pumpkins in there. It looks really good.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm pleased with it. I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, what about the closet? We love the closet. That's our favorite scene in there. And we might have talked about
I think we did talk about this.
On the podcast to a degree of vagueness, but we'll talk about it here to an extent. The closet still exists. However, half of it's been reimagined with something that's appropriate to pumpkins. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
So,
and then
half of the crowd was like, "Yeah, no more closet." And half the crowd was like, "Oh man, no more closet."
Yeah. No, there's still
it's still there.
There's still a closet.
It's still there.
There's also a new kind of closet.
Part dough.
Yeah. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. And once you get the lighting and stuff in there, I think it'd be great.
I almost dislike it more than the closet.
100%. As a claustrophobic person, okay, I'm speaking to all my claustrophobic friends out there. That was like your big thing with the closet. Ooh, the clothes. Ooh, it's so dark, whatever. I didn't mind going through it. Whatever.
It was just an inconvenience for us to go through it.
At least... Never mind. I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
I avoid this closet scene now with the new edition. I went through it one time, and that was to sign off on what Keegan had done in there. And I'm like, yeah, that's good. I avoid this like the plague. I do not go in there.
Yeah.
That's good luck.
Yeah.
Have fun.
It's a great way.
But yeah, and speaking about finale too, we're doing some rearranging and tweaking with that finale scene, and we're doing something one could say hasn't really been done in a finale before to this degree. There's gonna be something big in this finale.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that. I don't want to ruin the surprise. Big finale. I forgot what we were doing.
I don't. You were just talking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I know.
What we were doing in the because I was like, but yeah, you got there. The actual facade is gonna get a pretty cool facelift.
Oh yeah. Well, we have some ideas for the lighting and what have you, the facade, and it's gonna get pumpkins and that stuff, and there's cool props and creatures and stuff. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah. We've been very, very deliberate with everything across the board. Like no stone unturned. Every scene and every trail has been touched.
Yes, and
has
we have
been
talked about it
updated.
at least a minimum of a dozen times.
Yes.
And we have gone back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Everything.
And there'll probably be another 10 times when we start putting scares in there.
Yeah. We haven't even started doing that.
It's the most cohesive, well thought out. And not to say our stuff before hadn't been well thought out, but we have, as we've said before, the luxury this year of having the mental and physical time to be able to put the thought into these scenes.
Yeah. When I'm saying like across the whole.
But yeah, not just this trail, across the whole board.
Yeah, everything. Pretty much every scene has been touched, modified, rearranged, whatever. So I feel like it's the 11th year. It's a whole new era, and I think everything's gonna feel
turning the page.
Yeah, I think everything is gonna feel so new, and because there's people that come out every year, I think it might even feel a little foreign to some of them. Like, man, they changed everything.
Well, speaking of foreign, perfect segue. Let's talk about Trail 1.
Oh my God. Okay, go ahead.
Trail 1. This is the trail all the way to the left in the back left corner. A couple years ago it was Headless. Last year it was Moonlight Massacre. This year it is The Ripper. And we are traveling across the pond to merry old London.
I'm leaving.
For Jack the Ripper. And this is Sir Henry's version of Jack the Ripper. You're out there wondering, how does this tie into Sir Henry? Don't worry, it does. I got a master thing of how all this ties together. Maybe one day, if you're lucky enough, I'll reveal it to you. I don't know. But alas, yes, this is our Jack the Ripper trail. I think I had this, like, hey, I want to do that. I want to do it. I think, in fact, before we settled on the real werewolf, I had considered.
Yeah, we've talked about this for a while.
It's been in the works, and now it's the perfect time to do it. We really only had like one thing we wanted to do, and that was build a brand new graveyard. And we were going to build a graveyard, get out of Trail 1. Done. We ended up doing
everything else
a lot in Trail 1. Trail 1 really should have got the least amount of work. And you can make an argument for it might have got equal to
or the
most of all our attractions this season. So let's start with this graveyard we built. Originally, and I told several people this, that the plan was to, you go in the church, our big church we have, and then after the church, that is the graveyard. Just a little 15 by 15, 20 by 20, little crypts on the ground, headstones, blah, 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 blah. But then we went to
13th Gate
last year.
Who has
New Orleans style graveyard. And I was like, this is how a graveyard should be done, layout wise. And so we came back. Our original plans, even after seeing that, were
still
elementary
not this. Yeah.
At the most. And then something just clicked that we need to make this into a maze. And so we did.
We need to go all out with it.
And if you guys remember, there was a little shack.
Thank God.
I
totally forgot about it. That's how much I hated it.
Piece of crap shack right in front of the church. Yeah, it's some space in front of the church too. That's where the graveyard is. And you might be thinking, well, that wasn't really big area. This area is huge.
It was such a waste of space.
Huge. So we designed this graveyard there. And
we are undermining this. This is probably like 15 to 20 designs deep at this point.
It went through the most revisions, but once we had that, we got to do it like a maze.
Yeah,
it came together very quickly.
Once we had the footpath,
yes,
everything else fell together.
So you basically come in through an arch to a tiny courtyard, and then you start going into a mausoleum. Out of the mausoleum, you come into a wall of crypts, and then you come around to Mausoleum Alley, mausoleums on both sides, and then you dip into a crypt mausoleum or a mausoleum, and then you go through 2 mausoleums, and then you come out into another courtyard area right in front of the church. I mean,
it's the best the church has looked.
the church looks so good.
If for no reason, it made the church look so pretty.
And I probably use like 2 or 3 crypts, mausoleums. It may sound repetitive. It's not. I promise you. That's the one thing we talked about, is that whatever we do, I don't want just a bunch of repetitiveness.
Yeah.
And I want everything to look unique and different and have its own purpose.
Yes.
And we accomplished that. And we put pavers down.
Yeah. So no more trekking through the sand through there.
Well, yeah. So in this graveyard, you'll have pavers, stone pavers. So it's like
you're walking
it's
through the
a
graveyard.
full immersion.
It is so pretty.
It's beautiful.
It's so
Absolutely
pretty.
beautiful. A lot of phone work.
So
team
much
effort
phone
were
work.
there, and then we concreted everything. It's by far better than anything I could have originally imagined for this graveyard.
Well, there was something that we sacrificed for this, and kind of like
To do it right, we had to make a sacrifice. Doesn't matter what that was. It's irrelevant. It'll be here one day.
well, yeah. But I'm saying the agreement was if we lose this, then we have to
Pour all in.
Yeah, we have
200%.
yeah,
Not even 100%.
exactly.
200%. And that's
That's what we did.
And it benefited the trail by doing that. So
It
that's
benefited
everything.
everything.
So that's what we're really excited for. But there's like, what's cemetery graveyard? We've talked about this before, and I can never remember.
One is attached.
I know what one is. But
So I
can't
think
remember.
it's the cemeteries are attached.
Graveyard. I want to say graveyards are attached.
Can we get a Google producer?
Graveyard is attached. Cemetery is its own thing.
Maybe, I don't know.
Give me a fact.
Yeah, we'll get a
But
fact
while
check.
we're waiting on that, so really,
Jamie, look that up.
the graveyard is what we built. There is a cemetery that you'll still go through.
A graveyard means it's connected to a churchyard.
Okay.
Where a cemetery means it is its own thing.
Okay, so you were right. You were right.
Thank you. So we.
Where the religious connection comes from.
So we,
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jamie.
So his name's actually Anthony.
Yeah.
So we built a brand new graveyard. We also
we?
have a cemetery.
Yes. Well, I guess
That's-
they could both.
They go both whatever, but the cemetery's in the woods.
Yeah.
So and that's our like headstones and stuff and whatever. We updated one of our favorite scenes is the town square that you
Yep.
come out to, and when you come out to it this year is totally different. You don't just come out of the woods and there, boom, you're there.
The whole brand new
It's-
facade in there.
It's as if we were in London and you come out of a little alleyway.
Yeah. What's that? The Hogsmeade. What is it? Not Hogsmeade.
Diagon Alley?
Diagon Alley. Yeah.
Diagon Alley.
Yeah, we built Diagon
Diagon
Alley.
Alley.
Totally.
Kind of, yeah, sure, it's a big deal. But no, so we got a new facade in there, by the way. And we did this alleyway. We're adding street lamps, and there's like a brand new path almost.
It's not even. It's just better.
Like because there's a path and it's clean.
Yeah, it's a
clean.
clear path of where you're supposed to go, because people walk where they want to anyways. So we just took the desired path and made it so that's the only way you could go. So
Yes, and so that's new. One of the things we talked about doing with this theme, I was like, I don't know if we have time. I don't know if we're going to get to it, but we got to it. We got to it.
oh yeah, okay.
And that is our sewer scene.
Yeah, see, that was right above graveyard on the to-do list. It was like sewer and then graveyard on the bottom.
No, sewer was on the bottom.
Yeah,
how many
actually,
times
you're
did I
right,
say
you're
I will
right.
cut the sewer scene?
Yeah, you're right.
Well, thank goodness we didn't have to cut the sewer scene. It's a really cool scene. Came together really well. Looks awesome, and like the transition is really cool
Yeah.
too.
I went and took a class on concrete and how that works for the amount of concrete work that we've done this year.
This is not like a trans world class, like a haunted house trade.
No. I'm
talking about actual concrete.
I
work,
went to
okay?
a concrete manufacturer, and they had a class on how to utilize concrete and the different types and everything like that. It was a full 8-hour thing.
So when you go through our fort or our graveyard or our what is this? A sewer.
The sewer.
And you touch and feel it, it is real. It is as real gets. Okay.
It's real concrete.
This is what people would have built this actual stuff out of. And it's got the curved roof and everything, and there's a big scare in there. Probably gonna be foggy as heck. And then there's
Yeah, it's great. It's I'm
scary.
excited for it.
It's dark in there. It's cool.
It's dark and it's actually cool because it's literally a concrete tube.
And yeah, it's we haven't had any kind of architecture like this before at the event. It's really cool. And then the finale got reworked.
Yeah.
The finale got reworked, and there's going to be some really cool visual props, animatronics, whatever, in this Jack the Ripper finale.
Yeah.
The one thing I say about this trail now, I'm just going to say, I think it's a flawless trail.
At this point, yes. Now, yes.
Meaning, it can always be better. But there's not one area where I can look at and say, looks like crap. We need to redo this scene next year.
Which there was. That's why Trail 1 got so much, because we were in one scene and we're like, man, this sucks.
That is our
we
flagship
need to redo
trail now, I want to say. I mean, you could say Trail 3 is, but...
Yeah.
I mean,
but
the mansion facade, you could make an art. But I think top to bottom, there's not one...
Zero
area.
skips.
There's no seams in Trail 1 anymore. There's no seams. Even like the couple little transitions we have are flawless. So I'm extremely proud of that. We're not gloating about ourselves and how good we are, but I'm just, that is the amount of detail and attention to everything we put into it.
Well, but like, this is however many
There's
years.
some people I'm gloating to, and you know who you are.
There's 3 years of work that's into it. You know what I mean? So like, that's two. That's why we're saying this, is because like, we can finally kind of take our hands off and like, to an extent, and say like, this is where it needs to be.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because you guys know, when you saw the headless trail, the amount of work that was done and went into that. And now we did probably close to equal of that to get to this result. So it's incredible. It's epic.
And we still have more ideas for what we're going to do next year on it.
Yeah, that we do, unfortunately.
We didn't tell the stories at all.
Oh, yeah. Duh. So let's
Trail
jump
2.
back. Trail 2. I'll take that one. You can take Giant River. Everybody knows what that is. Trail 2, basically, in the original Pyrum story, the story goes that if you don't light your jack-o'-lantern by midnight, the creature Pyrum will emerge from this jack-o'-lantern and kill you and everything you love. Yada, yada, yada. I know you're probably like, oh, that sounds like Sam or Trick or Treat or whatever. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I've never seen that movie.
Trust me, he hasn't, because I reference it a lot.
I had heard about this, and I'm like, well, it'd be cool if we did it this way, and we did. So that is the original legend of Pyrum. But Brad and Amanda, who was on the podcast a couple of episodes ago, you can go watch that episode on our YouTube channel or listen on any podcast streaming platform. When Brad wrote the first book, he put the origin story to Pyrum in there, like the 90 something origin story of Balthazar Bones. And
Hard.
Yeah. And so also he's the lead singer of Eternal Corpses.
Yep.
And
Balthazar, that's a bass player. Balthazar plays bass.
Okay, whatever.
100%.
But he's in the band.
He's in the band.
And,
founding member.
So the Pyrum returned, killed everybody in this village except for one.
I need a so counter on that, editor, if you don't mind. Thanks.
What?
How many times you just said so? It was probably about 15.
So he killed everybody in this village. When he came back, read the book, you'll find out. Except for this one boy, Jacob. Jacob lived to tell, whatever. Well, now this family, descendants of Jacob, 230 years after Pyrum's wrath. Look what I did there. Wow. I wasn't even trying.
Wow.
They have formed this cult of Pyrum, but it's not like, oh yeah, we love Pyrum. No, they're like, oh, we're gonna bring this creature back on Halloween night, and we're gonna kill him for revenge of our dead ancestors, in honor of Jacob, who they are descendants of because he lived, but the other ancestors that they were killed. So they perform some kind of ritual. Basically, they don't light their pumpkin before midnight, and the clock strikes midnight. Here comes Pyrum.
There he is.
But they didn't account for a kind of a supernatural pumpkin creature. You know, they don't have lightsabers or anything like that. So, and he terrorizes. He causes wrath. Pyrum's wrath. That's basically the story.
Goes to town.
Our kind of concept for this was Stranger Things, season 3, 4, but with pumpkins. That was my working idea.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of houses or
I think
houses.
that was the pitch.
No, that was my pitch.
Yeah.
Stranger Things, season 3, 4, but with pumpkins, and that is what we were emulating with this trail. You might, now that I've said that, put that out there, you might get some vibes. So that's Pyrum's wrath. You want to talk about Jack the Ripper?
It's not as cool as that. It's your classic Jack the Ripper story.
Yeah, I'll elaborate then.
So, well, you gotta let me continue. So what is it? 1801, something like that.
1890.
1891, London, streets of London. There's a mysterious killer out and about. People are going missing while the cops are searching for them. So it's kind of a cat and mouse type situation.
You may
here.
wonder, well, you've got like a farmhouse and a barn that you foresaw for Trail 1. How does that make London? In our story, Jack the Ripper starts by murdering this farmer family, whatever. And we don't know if he was the father or what. It's ambiguous. And that taste for blood only became so much more desirable that he went off to the city and became known as Jack the Ripper. Yeah. So yeah,
It's pretty cool.
So
Also,
you have a
this
progression.
trail, if you know Jack the Ripper and the lore surrounding him, there's a lot of Easter eggs in this trail.
A lot of Easter eggs.
Probably the most of any attraction we've done.
Lot of Easter eggs. Little stuff.
Tons.
I'll give you one example, is that all the names on the in our graveyard, the new thing we built, on the crypts and everything else, are all the names of victims of Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
Last names.
And some of them are suspected suspects.
Yeah, there are a
stuff like
couple that are suspected suspect names as well.
And things of that nature.
Yeah.
And we built a whole like police station.
Well, the police station was already there. We just made it into a police
Yeah,
station.
made it. Yeah, and it's there's some Easter eggs in there, stuff like that.
I do want to put out there. You're gonna see a lot of graphic stuff this year for Sir Henry. I don't know. It's fear unleashed. There are scenes in Trail 1 that depict very violent and aggressive acts toward police and cops. I don't. There's no message. There's no nothing there. It's just art. Okay, I just want to put that out there. I don't want somebody to come in and like, oh, there's just hate cops in there, or anything like that. No. It's a haunted house.
He kills equally.
It's a haunted house. He kills prostitutes, police officers. Yeah, care. He just likes it.
But yeah, there's just a lot of nods. I think this is kind of like a fanfic of haunted house themes for us, Because like, who doesn't
This
like Jack the
lineup,
Ripper?
I love this.
I feel like this is a good.
I had this lineup basically since December.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because like the last 2-3 years, I was like May, June before I finally decided and committed to something.
Yeah.
Including last year.
But yeah, this is just, we're doing this because we like it. Like, it's just cool.
Well, we said it a couple podcasts ago. I achieved what I wanted to achieve the first 10 years, and now I'm just having fun. And maybe that pressure, that monkey, whatever, is gone, and we allow more creative thoughts to happen.
But I think this lineup is like a great way to kick off the new era of
this
Sir
is
Henry's.
solid lineup. This is by far will be the best event we've ever done. And I know that could be a hot take, or whatever. If you are watching this, chances are you're probably going to come out and see us this year. But if you're watching this and you've never been out to see us or thinking about should you come out and see us, the answer is yes. Come out and see us this season. Come out and see all this new stuff we've added. Again, I'm not stroking my ego or trying to be pompous or anything, but it's just the honest truth when I say there is nothing in this area equal to the sets and caliber of what you will see out here, along with the unique creative designs that will compare with this. I mean that. So if you enjoy that kind of stuff, great. If you prefer run-of-the-mill stuff, probably not the hunt for you. So yeah,
It's lit.
yeah, it's gonna be a great season. I can't get here soon enough.
Like the auxiliary characters that we've come up with are some of my favorite stuff. Like
example,
like commentary characters or me and Austin, Ash, the characters that.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the whole character episode. Character reveal. But yeah, so coming up August, we'll have our open house, and that's going to be our open house for basically actor auditions. Come out, hang out, have fun, meet the cast and crew, sign up to be a scare actor this season. That's a lot of fun. It was a big hit last year. I'm looking forward to that again.
Very low intensity,
There's
just
no pressure.
fun. Yeah, low pressure.
Just come hang out,
Just
have
kind of like a
fun.
little party,
Meet and greet.
a little block party.
Yeah. And I much prefer the way that this works over past auditions.
Yeah, I agree.
And-
As someone
and
that
that's-
went to a past audition.
Yeah. And let's be real. I mean, people have a varying set of skill set, but at the end of the day, we have an incredible team, and we can make anybody a scare actor. It's not rocket science, but you have to know what you're doing. And we really don't need to see your crazy good screams or stuff like that, and that's why we got away from the audition side of things, and it's more about how you connect with us out here as the Sir Henry family. So we got that open house coming up, dates to be announced if they already haven't. And then we got Tampa Bay Comic-Con near the end of August. We'll be vending there. We'll have a booth. Stop by and say hello. Grab.
I'll sign autographs.
A promotional thing.
I have a really good signature. Zach's been teaching me for years.
He still doesn't have a good signature. Don't let him lie to you. I sign his name better than he does.
Well, yeah, that's a fact.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
That's not a burn.
It's
that's
not.
That's just a fact.
all I speak is facts. Even the burns are facts. So we got that coming up. Stop by, see us, say hi, get some pictures. And then we move into September, and before you know it, it's media night, and
we get to sleep.
I really am looking forward to just vegging out, watching some football as much as I can.
This off season is gonna go so hard.
It's yeah.
It's gonna go so hard.
So
Which is crazy. I don't know if we've ever said this on the podcast. From like late September to like late January, that's theoretically our off season.
it really is, and I kind of knew that, but hearing you verbalize that, that's kind of crazy.
That is our like. People are like, man, I bet you're so busy in October. No, I got all the time in the world. What are you trying to do?
Yeah.
It's
It's different. But yes, we have time. Yes, the stress is off. But come weekend, it's
back.
It's game day.
It's back.
It's game day.
Yeah.
So you still got to lock in for that,
But
it's
it's the off season.
It's yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So lots of exciting stuff coming up. We've just got more announcements. Escape games. I'm excited about those themes this year. We'll be talking about that soon.
Yep.
common area, new center show, new great grand opening ceremony. Got to figure out what that's going to be. All kinds of new stuff. It's exciting. Make sure tickets will go on sale very soon too. Also very soon. So keep an eye out for that. Any final thoughts? We didn't give a fun fact.
Fun fact. I believe that Jack the Ripper was Victor Degas. That's my fun fact.
We know the bar, the Blue Oyster Cult or whatever.
The Blue Oyster Cult?
What's the name of the bar?
I don't remember it. I think it is Blue something.
There's
the Drunken Clam.
It was like moved to Florida.
Yeah. So yes, what you're talking about. The last known location of who we believe is Jack the Ripper was at a bar, and for some reason or another, it was packed up. The bar was packed up and taken to Florida, which is crazy. Normally, landmarks get packed up and taken to England to be put in the museum, but this is the first time that it's actually.
Well, there's also a theory that Jack the Ripper was H.H. Holmes, and then he came back over here.
Yes. Yeah. Because they get a very similar vibe. But I've always thought it was Victor Degas. He
invented the DC current, right?
Yeah. No, he paints ballerinas. You just seen like the weird, creepy paintings of ballerinas and stuff. They have like their heads are like
thing. Like he painted those.
Yeah, he painted those. He lived in France.
Can we put that in a trail?
Huh?
Can we put that in?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's a great idea.
Don't just say it. Let's do it.
Yeah. He lived in France, but there's like documentation of letters that he very frequently went to London for like lunch and meetings and stuff like that. And these notes, these letters to his friends line up almost perfectly to the murders.
Well, there you have it. Detective Calvin, as you may see in some of these pictures and videos.
Oh, yeah.
Has cracked the case of Jack the Ripper. Victor Degas.
Is that it? I think that's his first name. I know his last name is Degas. I believe it's Victor.
Degas.
Got us. All right, anyways.
That's one of our work mojo songs.
That's how the hayride got built.
Facts. All right, for the spooky friends, thank you for joining in and hearing all about Trail 1 and 2, The Ripper and Pyrum's Wrath. Continue to stay on the lookout for new podcast episodes because we still got a lot to talk about and reveal for this season. Until next time, he is Calvin. I'm Zach most of the time. We'll see you later.
Sayonara.